Welcome into the College Football Betting Show presented by the World Sports Network. Tanner Kern joined alongside Brock Boynton. Davey covers here. We're talking some college football for week 9. Crazy to think we are already in week 9 of the college football season. We don't have many more weekends left.
No, not at all.
Bad thought.
It's really bad.
I mean, thank God they stretched the bowl season out as long as they do with the playoffs. But, I mean, we're getting to the end of regular season. It's a scary sight.
It's already crunch time. It's insane to think.
It's crazy to think, though, that the NFL goes on so much longer than college football. I know with the bowl games, we have them every weekend, and it does stretch a long time. But, like, nobody really cares about the regular bowl games. I know there's things to bet on, but I got annihilated during the regular bowl games last year. Even the college football playoff wasn't good to me, but at least we knew the guys were playing in that one. Where the bowl games, man, it's just a different beast. So like once the end of the season comes around, it's a sad time for sure. And then you kind of look to the college football playoff. That's at least my experience.
Yeah, I mean, it's so hard. It's so hard getting into those bowl games because, I mean, you just don't know what rosters are going to look like and who's going where. I mean, with the portal, I mean, that was the big topic last year during leading up to the playoffs is how that portal opened up and guys were just jumping ship. And I mean, Penn State was without a backup quarterback last year in the playoffs. So,
yep, definitely. And they're in a situation right now where they're going to be looking for a new head coach. So it's an interesting time in college football. Guys are getting fired. Billy Napier got canned last week. I don't think we discussed Billy Napier on the show. I think we just discussed James Franklin because Billy Napier came after.
Yeah, yes. I think he came right after their game on Saturday. I think he got fired on Sunday.
Yes, and they won too, so that shows how bad it was. So let's talk about Billy Napier for a minute. Just quick thoughts. Brock, we'll start with you.
It was a long time coming.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a long – I mean, we talked about it earlier in the year. He always, I mean, years past, he goes on those 3 weeks, 4 week stretch that he wins games that he like just shouldn't win, and that's just how he keeps his job. And I just feel like after what you saw with Penn State and these universities are like, we want it now. I mean, they're money talks, bullshit walks, and I mean these schools, they want it now, they want to win now, and Billy just wasn't a fit for down there in Florida.
I don't know why they extended him, though. That's my thing. Like, why would you extend him last year? And I know you rip off a few wins, but if you didn't think he was going to be the guy for your program, why do that? So, David, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's crazy that he got fired right after the Mississippi State game, just because I will say I think Mississippi State is underrated and honestly is a better football team than it seems. But I agree. It just needed to happen. They lost to South Florida this year when they were ranked like 8, 10, somewhere. I mean, they were ranked high. I don't know exactly what they're ranked, but that's a massive loss to lose to South Florida. And you think like the next week they played Miami. Who's the best team in Florida? All of a sudden, South Florida dog walks Florida. It's like, I think he's got to get out of here. It's time to get this guy walking.
Yeah, for sure. And we are going to talk a little bit about Mississippi State today in terms of the Texas game. That could be an upset waiting to happen there for Mississippi State over Texas. We'll find out what you guys think there in a little bit here. But let's start with Ole Miss versus Oklahoma. Ole Miss goes on the road, 5.5-point dog. And you know why people like the SEC so much? Because every week we get big primetime matchups in the SEC. There's 3 or 4 every weekend now that are just must-watch television. And the Big Ten just can't do that. So, Dave, I knew you're the Big Ten guy here. Brock's more the SEC guy. The SEC, it can't be beat with these matchups, and this is a huge one here. So, Dave, we'll start with you. Ole Miss, Oklahoma, 5.5 points. Where are you leaning towards this one?
Gosh, this game's a tough one, honestly. I want to lean Ole Miss, but I'm too scared with them in Oklahoma. I think Oklahoma's crowd, Boomer Sooner, just going to be jumping. I think it's a big bounce back game for Mateer, and I think Oklahoma covers the 5.5.
I kind of agree with that. I don't want to play Ole Miss. It's just the back-to-back road spots for Ole Miss going to Georgia last weekend. There's so many teams in that back-to-back road spot in the SEC this week. It's just not good. I think Oklahoma's due for a little bit of a bounce back. John Mateer, has not really been able to run the ball lately. I think this is the game where he pops off a little bit. They're going to have to score to keep up with Ole Miss. But Ole Miss, when they need to find it last week against Georgia. They couldn't do it down the stretch, and Georgia just found a way to pull through. So that gives me a little more confidence in Oklahoma here. Brock, you on the side of the Sooners? You on the side of the Rebels?
I mean, just how we were talking earlier in the show, yes, it's the end of the year, but right now we're getting playoff games. Winner, I mean, this is why you play. And I mean, you saw Lane Kiffin call out Oklahoma earlier in the week about stealing signs. I like Ole Miss to cover. I like Oklahoma to win, but I like Ole Miss plus the 5.5. I think it's going to be a field goal game. I just think Oklahoma's offense hasn't been really been able to get anything going since his return. I mean, Ole Miss defense isn't the best, so I think that's a good matchup. But then you have an Ole Miss offense that's really good, that can put up points, going against a really good defense. So I think I like the under. I think Ole Miss keeps it close, but I do think Oklahoma wins by a field goal.
Yeah, I can see that one playing out too. I think if it's within that 5.5 point range, I think Ole Miss is a live dog to win the game outright. I think it's kind of like win and cover for Oklahoma. If Ole Miss covers, they're right there to win the game, and I think they get it done just because they're going shot for shot. You're going to find out early in this one, I think, where it's going to be. Like last week, I guess it looked like Ole Miss was just going to roll. They didn't, obviously, it didn't happen. Georgia found a way, but I think if Ole Miss is playing like that early against Oklahoma, Oklahoma's not going to fight back like Georgia did.
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, Ole Miss's defense got exposed last week, and I think that's where Mateer comes in and has his bounce back game and revives the Boomer Sooners, wakes them up.
He has to. I mean, that's why you got John Mateer there. So I tend to side with Oklahoma. I wouldn't want to lay 5.5, though. I'd probably wait for a live betting opportunity in that game because Ole Miss is going to be able to. Ole Miss could go right down the field to start the game. Then you're getting Oklahoma minus 2.5. So we will see what happens there. Big game though in the SEC. Once again, we got Mizzou and Vanderbilt. I never thought we'd be saying Mizzou and Vanderbilt's a big game, but it is.
Game day, college game day.
Yeah. So like for me, I personally think, I know it's a massive game. I would rather see college game day at A&M LSU, Saturday night Death Valley. LSU still alive for the playoffs, like not fully alive, but still alive. A&M's a top 5 team, right? So that's the game I would rather see them at. But, you know, we started with David last time. We'll start with you, Brock. How do you see Mizzou versus Vandy playing out?
It's Mizzou's second week in a row on the road, and it's their second road game the entire year. I think coming off that very emotional overtime win at Auburn last week, I mean, that's a lot. I mean, that offense did not click. I think Vanderbilt will be – I mean, I think their defense is legit. And I think they're going to be able to stop Mizzou. And with the mentality that Diego brings in week after week, that's going to be the difference. He said it last week on game day that, I mean, they're a bunch of misfits, and they believe that, and that's the way they carry themselves. Like, I got to back a guy like that.
Yeah. What do you think, David?
Agreed, 100%. I was saying it last week, preaching the dog mentality that dude has. And, I mean, he has his flaws. You see it. I don't know if he's an NFL quarterback. I'll say that right now. But, damn, that dude has that dog mentality that you just want to play for. And I think they come in, they get it done. I think they beat Mizzou. And I think Diego runs in for another touchdown, probably lays his shoulder down, and he hits the Heisman pose one more time.
So I'm going to disagree here. I think Mizzou is going to win the football game. I think Missouri is going to find a way to get it done. I like Perbola. Not great with the interceptions this year. Needs to cut that down. Diego Pavia is a dog, but I think Vanderbilt's riding so high coming into this one, and the perfect team to knock them off is Missouri, especially after last week in a game where you barely survive against Auburn in overtime, double overtime, you know, people writing you off. Like Auburn's not a good team, but it's definitely hard to go on the road and beat Auburn as a visitor. I know Auburn's 0-4 in the SEC, they're 3-4, but that's a tough matchup, a tough place to walk into. Vanderbilt obviously is not going to be an easy place to play, which I never thought I'd be saying that. But I just think, Amon Hardy, if you can run the ball against Vanderbilt, you're going to find success in this football game. Mizzou presents a lot of challenges for them. Mizzou played Alabama tougher than Vandy played Alabama, in my opinion. I think Mizzou is a live dog here. I do think the Vandy collapse is coming eventually, and this is where it starts.
Mm-hmm.
I can't disagree with that, but I mean, I think Mizzou played the better game against Alabama. The game looked better, but I thought Alabama should have beat the hell out of Mizzou, and it should have been a 20-point dog walk. And Andy did get almost 20-point dog walked, and I felt like it should have been a 3-point game. I don't know. That's such a tough
this is the thing about college football. Like anything can happen. Like we can. That's where it's like the NFL. You don't get that variability much. Like a 7-point spread outside of last night with the Vikings for the most part. Like a 3-point spread. Like a 3-point spread is a 3 to 10 point football game usually, right? Or a 3-point spread in college. That could be a 20-point game. That could be a 30-point game. That could be a 3-point game. You just don't know what you're going to get. But looking at next week's, pending Texas doesn't get upset from Mississippi State. I don't know if any of you guys are pulling the upset or not. But pending Texas doesn't get upset by Mississippi State this week, they are a 3.5-point favorite over Vanderbilt at home. Is that warranted in your mind, Brock?
I mean, I think that's kind of free, if you ask me, for Texas.
Yeah.
I mean, you're telling me like it, because especially if Vanderbilt wins this weekend, the amount of rat poison that's going to be out on the table for them to just keep on, oh, you're the best, you're the best. They're going to keep hearing that. They're going to eat that up, and then they're going to go down to Texas, and I think they're going to get humbled bad. I mean, you're talking about a different caliber of the SEC. And yeah, like right now you could say Alabama is at the top, obviously, but like, I mean, if we're talking size comparison, I mean, have you seen what they feed those dudes down there at Texas? Like, it's different, man. Like
I personally think this is the game. Like Texas survives Mississippi State. Texas may come out and roll Mississippi State, honestly, at 7.5 points. Like last week was the kind of, not the wake up call. Arch is getting so much shit. I feel bad for the kid, but like Michael Taft, stepping up saying like, hey, it's hard to win on the road in Kentucky. Like that could be the win that brings them together a little bit. Then you beat Mississippi State. And then I think, everyone in their right mind will be on Vanderbilt, and then Texas. It's another game like Oklahoma. They just find a way to get it done. That's kind of where I'm thinking how it's going to go. And then if Texas loses another game, it's probably A&M or Georgia. But I still think Texas. I mean, Texas is not a bad football team.
Bro, that defense is unbelievable.
Yeah. That's what I was just going to say. Their defense is going to humble Vandy's offense. And like you said, they're big, man. They're big. That defense is probably going to come in, and they're going to be ready to fire. If both teams win this week, especially, I think if Vandy wins and Texas, I see them winning. I don't know if they'll cover. I think that's another tough game for them. But, I mean, that defense is going to come in, and they're going to humble Diego. They're going to want to eat him alive.
Yeah.
Totally agree. Okay, so we're moving into the Alabama-South Carolina game real quick here. I don't want to spend too much time on it, but Alabama is 11.5-point favorite. Brock, your team has usually gone on the road and lost these games in the past. Why is this year going to be different, or why is South Carolina going to cover and potentially win the game outright? Because they haven't won this month. Like they need to win They need to win a game this month at home, I would think.
Yeah, I mean, it's scary times down there in Cocktober at South Carolina. So if Ty Simpson wants to win the Heisman, he covers his spread.
Yeah,
but that's all it is. I mean, has Kalen DeBoer been able to show that he can get his whole group together to win these games? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
So let's see the growth. Let's see the growth from last year, and from last year, because you had at least two that you shouldn't have lost, being a 2-point cover, like be able to do that.
Yeah.
This is a new year. Let's see what growth you have made, Coach. That's the way I look at it. And if they want to keep that upper echelon in the SEC, have that championship on their mind for the SEC, this is a must win.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I don't know if it's a must cover. Like I think South Carolina's a good football team. I don't think they're a terrible football team. David, how do you see this one playing out?
I agree. I mean, I don't think it's a must cover. I think that I think SC comes in and plays a tight football game. Alabama on the road, it gets to be a roller coaster there. I think the Gamecocks are going to bring it. They're going to cover the 11.5, I think the spread is, right? 11.5. And I see Alabama winning. I don't see them losing on the road. But I do agree. I think if Ty Simpson wants to be what is he right now in the running? Like number 3?
Yeah, it just depends what book. I mean, he's first or second, depending on your book. So like, that's what I mean. I mean, it's crunch time.
Yeah, it's that time of year.
One thing I have a tough pill trying to swallow. I may be biased, but being here in Indiana, everyone's on Indiana quarterback to be the Heisman. It's like let's compare competition. I mean, Indiana doesn't play a ranked opponent until they play Ohio State, in the Big Ten championship. So if you put up numbers throughout the week, like we were saying, the SEC on how it is week after week after week, I mean, not to mention they have a bye next week before they have LSU come to home. So are they looking ahead for the bye? So, I mean, you got to come on with your head on straight.
Yeah, you got to take care of business. I think they will, but 11.5 just seems like a lot with and like South Carolina has not won a game yet this month in October. So they probably, that's got to happen sooner than later. This will be a good one to win for them, and they'll be fired. I mean, this is if you're South Carolina, they're done for playoff and all that, and any SEC championship. It's still 3-4. You're gonna beat Coastal. You probably beat Clemson. You need one more to get to a bowl game. You know, they're still season's very much alive for them. And Shane Beamer's been really good against ranked opponents in his career against the spread. Okay, so we are moving into the nightcap here. We got a big one at night. Texas A&M, LSU, Death Valley. Brian Kelly has only lost one time in night games in Death Valley. He is 5-10, I think, against ranked opponents, though. For top 10 opponents. I don't know what the stat is, but I heard that today. He's been really bad against ranked opponents. He's really good at night. Some of those games have been at night. Other of those games haven't been at night. Davey, we'll start with you. What happens in this one?
It's in Death Valley. Brian Kelly needs a job. How bad does he want a job? I think that's going to be what this game is going to be on the line of, is how bad do you want this job? I think it's going to come down to the wire. He's going to go for it on 4th down, and that's going to be the deciding factor.
I don't think he's lost the locker room. Like, that's the thing. Like, I don't think he necessarily – I think he's coaching for a job. I think the guys kind of like him. I think the LSU players like Brian Kelly, which I wouldn't have thought that would be the case. Do you agree with that, David?
Yeah. I think the players want to play for him. I don't think they're going to be rocking if shirts if he gets fired, you know? If he gets fired, I don't think that's happening. But, I mean, this is a massive game. I think he's going to come in. He's going to win. I don't want to bet it, but I want to bet it because of how good the game's going to be.
Yeah, Brock, you're the Brian Kelly. You know all the tea on Brian Kelly. So, do you think the players like playing for him? And then tell me how you think the game's going to play out.
I mean, man, to think that dude would have a locker room down there with those Louisiana boys, I mean, if he does, I mean, hats off to him. I mean, what I want to do this week is I want to take Texas A&M. I really do. Their offense, they have weapons all around that quarterback. But I think it's more so of a hate bet. So I got to take my emotions out of it. So, but yeah, no, I'm on Texas A&M. Give me the 2.5. It's like David said, Brian Kelly's going to be Brian Kelly. There's going to be a 4th down and he's going to do something dumb. It's going to cost him the game. There's going to be a fumble. There's going to be something stupid that happens. And, you know, I saw Brian Kelly ad on Facebook Market down there, and it was free. Needed a new head coach. I mean, the people in Louisiana do not like this guy. So it's just don't be surprised if you hear a "Fire Brian Kelly" chant running through that stadium if they're down.
Yeah, and they're going to be down for sure. They're going to be down at times in this football game. But how are they going to respond? How are you going to come out and respond a little bit? So we're going to find out. You know, I think it's a home game in Death Valley. I'm going to take LSU. But I think Texas A&M can win the game easily.
If you lose the crowd there, that game's over. A&M's going to beat the piss out of them. Brian Kelly's going to lose his job. If he loses the crowd, they go down 14 points and the crowd's out of it, that game's over. They're getting blown out. They're getting dog walked, and it's going to be an embarrassing show. But
I mean, your season is still right here in front of you if you're LSU. If you beat Texas A&M and you beat Alabama, you're winning out. You're making the college football playoff. So your season 10-2 LSU is going to get in with wins over Alabama and wins over Texas A&M. So we'll find out. I mean, this is a tough environment. Texas A&M went to Notre Dame earlier in the season, won that game. They really shouldn't have. But different environment in the South.
You can't compare Notre Dame atmosphere to Death Valley. I can promise you that. Got a bunch of Rudy lovers standing up in the stands, man. I mean, it's a bunch of old people.
Yeah, I think season on the line, LSU finds a way to get it done. season, coach. I mean, everything if I'm Brian Kelly this week, I'm preaching everything we want right there in front of us this week. We got two big games. We got to win this one. You win the next one, you're in the college football playoff. So big spot for them. Let's see their college football playoff odds right now. LSU plus 6,000. That's to make the national championship game. Forget that. Plus 820 to make the college football playoff.
I mean, if you're a believer, the road's ahead of them.
Yeah, the 10-2 gets them in for sure.
Right.
9-3 does not get them in. 10-2 gets them in. So I don't know. It's worth a sprinkle in my mind. It's a good way to play it.
Right.
Parlay time, guys. Big time parlay. Last week, I sold the parlay. We were Lafayette against Oregon State. They were up. What was it? 14-10 at the half. 13-10 at the half. They were 13-10 at the half. They were a 21.5 point dog, 24.5 point dog.
24.
They got boat race in the second half to a point where they didn't even score a point in the second half. So I don't even know how they played them that tight in the first half, if that's how they came out in the second half. So we need to get back on track. We need to win one. So we will start. This is how we do it. We all take one that we agree on, and then we go across the board and we pick other games. We each take one. So what's the pick that we all agree on this week that we want?
We've had a lot of jumping back.
Yeah, we've been going back and forth.
Yeah.
I think. I mean, if you want, I know both of you guys are on that Oklahoma. I mean, if you guys wanted to go the 5.5 on Oklahoma, we can do that.
I would rather just take a money line if we want. Yeah,
let's do that.
So Oklahoma money line. I'll go first here. I got a good one. I got a juicy one to redeem myself this week. I'm not doing a mid-major. I'm gonna gotta find them on here. Let's see. I like Syracuse plus 16.5 at Georgia Tech. I think that's way too many points for Syracuse. They got a hard-nosed coach. They got a backup quarterback, which is a concerning thing, but they've played tough competition this year. Georgia Tech is a team that doesn't come alive until later in football games. We saw last week they struggled against Duke throughout the entire first three quarters of the game, really found a way to blow them out in second and the fourth quarter. Haynes King's a guy who I love, but he plays better when he gets beat up. So I think it's going to take him a little time to get going. And by the time they do get going, I think Syracuse is going to be in the game. And just 16.5 feels like a lot of points here.
Oh, I like that.
All right. Who's next?
Davey, go ahead.
All righty. I think that I am going to ride out, because this is the bet that I'm probably going to bet the most on College Game Day. And I'm going to take Vandy minus 2.5.
Okay.
And go against Tanner. I know he's. I know he hates putting this in the parlay here.
All right,
we're holding on for a win.
Vandy minus 2.5. We're adding it in right now. Let's see here. Vandy minus 2.5. 330 kick. Minus 120 there. Plus 436. Okay, Brock, take us home, man.
Give me IU UCLA over the 54.5. And if it's 55.5, you can do that too.
53.5 right now.
Oh, even better. I mean, I think IU could almost probably score the whole 53 by themselves. So, and especially with how UCLA's offense has been able to wake up a little bit. I also like IU's defense for a touchdown. I mean, I think Nico throws a pick six, and I would be curious to see what the value on that would be, but I just think UCLA is going to be throwing the football a lot. There's going to be turnover that leads to some points, and yeah.
I don't hate UCLA plus 25.5 in that game. If the magic is real there.
Right.
With Neuheisel. If the magic's real. If it's not, we're going to find out. This will be the perfect weekend to end it. But 25 is a lot for a team that's playing for their head coach right now. They found a purpose. That's the biggest thing.
And they're playing.
Absolutely.
I mean, they truthfully look good. I know they're not beating insanely good teams. Penn State looks terrible, and the win doesn't look as big as it is, but they are playing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're right there back in the mix for a bowl game when you really think about it. I mean, 3-4 right now. You've won 3 straight. You're going to lose to Indiana this weekend. You could beat Nebraska. You lose to Ohio State. You could beat Washington, potentially USC. Like, you could Now, you got hope. That's the biggest thing. You got hope. You lost the games that you need to win early in the season to get to a bowl game, but you have some hope now. So I believe I think UCLA's win total was extremely low this year. I think it was like 4.5. So they're in a good spot to hit that potentially if you can steal one of these big games and then beat a Nebraska or a Washington kind of team. And I think you can beat Washington with the way they're playing.
Not only is it hope to the locker room, but it's hope to your boosters where you're making your money. So the future could be I can't imagine the amount of money that the boosters that have coming from UCLA or people that support UCLA. Yeah. So, I mean, that place could get going like we saw early college football years, man. I mean, dynasty run type thing.
Yeah, definitely. Well, guys, so the parlay is locked in. We got Oklahoma money line, Syracuse 16.5, Vandy -2.5, over 53.5, UCLA at Indiana. I feel good about this one. I think this one's going to hit. I don't love the Vandy play. I'm a little concerned there. But again, I do think Vandy's a smart move to lean toward. I don't want to play Mizzou. I think both those teams shouldn't be considered football schools, in my opinion. Mizzou's obviously
it's insane.
Rich history, but yeah, these like college game day being at Vandy versus Mizzou is just wild to me.
Yeah,
I can't comprehend it. Hey, but anything else, guys? Before we sign off here, any other best bets you like, picks, anything?
Have a great weekend.
Great weekend. We got bigger slates coming. It's only going to get bigger from here on out.
It just keeps getting bigger and bigger.
Right, and it's bigger in the SEC. That's the biggest thing. I want to get a Big Ten matchup soon. I don't know when we'll ever get that.
Gosh, it's not looking like we'll get one this year. I don't think there's any. Well, I think
the Big Ten championship's coming up.
The Big Ten championship. Yeah. I mean, Indiana, I guess Oregon was a big one, but like that doesn't even feel like a Big Ten matchup because Oregon doesn't feel like they're a Big Ten team, So. But like Texas and OU fit right into the SEC. I think of those teams as SEC schools, but I don't think of Oregon as a Big Ten school, So
Washington, USC. I mean, what are we doing, man?
What are we doing?
Insane.
But anyways, guys,
the Big 50, baby.
Yeah, right. Anyways, guys, that was the college football betting show here on WSN.com. Brock, Boynton, Davey Covers, Tanner Kern. We'll see you next week for another episode.